Hello, my name is Grace Butler.
Hi, I'm Katie Duggan.
And this is the Are You Well podcast. So today myself and Katie are just going on a little rant-ish about the coronavirus, what we've been doing, how we're coping, and just different ideas on what people can do to keep their minds occupied. Hi Katie.
Hi Grace.
How are you?
I'm good, girl. How are you?
I'm good. What is going on?
What is going on?
The whole thing is just bananas on so many levels, because you've got people on one side who are like, okay, I'm going to stay in my house and I'm never going to leave.
Yeah.
And then you've got people who are just like, it's like it hasn't even sunk in with them and they're still carrying on as normal. And it's like watching then both sides attack each other on social media. But did you see Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones? She's married to Joe Jonas, and she had up on her story, she was basically like having a pop at Evangeline Lilly, and Evangeline Lilly and her kids are just going on as life is normal. And then she brought her kids to gymnastics or something, and then Sophie Turner had a pop off on her Instagram story for leaving the house while everyone else is trying to self-isolate. And it's like,
but sure, look, people are going to do that.
Yeah, it's just mad to see both sides play out, and people have such different views on it. Yeah. I'm quite happy in my house.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
No, I'm loving it. I was loving it last week.
Yeah.
You know, and then this week then I was just, I think it got to me a little bit.
Yeah,
over the weekend.
Because
it was kind of new and shiny, and I was like, oh, nice and relaxed, and you don't have to go anywhere. Now it's like, okay, I'm bored now.
Yeah, that was
really
me.
Bored.
Yeah, that was me. I'm like, right, okay, I'm sick of looking at these four walls and the same thing. I need to go somewhere, do something. Which I suppose in one way has been a good thing, because I'm going for a lot more walks.
Yeah, I'm the same. But then, like, if you meet people out and then people are saying, "Oh, don't go to Shmore, don't go here," it's like, you know,
people have to go somewhere.
People have to go somewhere.
They have to go
and
somewhere.
Until they tell us that we're in lockdown, like, people, they're not breaking the law.
No, not at all. And I think I've seen an awful lot of just anger on social media. Again, from social media, from one side to the other. As in people who are on total lockdown, and then people who are kind of trying to live their lives as best they can. And it's just, I don't know, people are getting so aggressive over it. Like,
Well, you see, the aggression is the common ground.
Yeah.
Whereas if people like just focused on their own thing and just did what they were supposed to do and like lived their life the way they wanted, like they're adults, like, you know, and if the children are out doing things, well, then the adults need to rein them in.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I've seen the guards put up something about, there was this young fella who was supposed to be in isolation and he got bored. And he was awaiting being tested or something like that. And he went out and got bored and met up with his friends. And it's like, but, you know, like his parents, there is a fine line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Until the government say, like, you know, we're in lockdown, people are entitled to go out. And like, Ireland is a very small place. Like, where are you to go, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I think, like, I know for myself, I don't mind being holed up in the house, but it does get in on my brain after a while, and it's not in an obvious way of like, I'm sad. It's more in a very kind of subverted way where I don't even notice it's happening, but all of a sudden I don't want to leave the house.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to talk to anyone. And it's not like, I'm not like, there's no emotional reaction to it. It's literally just like, ugh, world, go away.
Oh, no,
I've gotten off now. And I get worried about myself then when I'm in the house all the time, that I'll slip back into that whole thing of not wanting to go anywhere, not wanting to leave. And so for me, I have to get out of the house. I have to get out, go up the road with the dogs, go for a spin, go somewhere.
Just change the scenery, like.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, like people from the countryside, they will be able to find those little places a lot easier. But people from town then have the main, they think of the main ones. Do you know what I mean? And I think even at that, like, everyone is out in the air. I don't think we're going to I don't think that this disease just spreads by say a load of people being on the beach in Tremor. Do you know what I mean? I think we have to hope that all of those people are practicing their little hygiene things and hope that everyone was looking after each other, but we also can't lock people in their houses, not just
yet.
yet.
Well, it's like I said, it's not against the law, so like people are making the most of it while they can, and if people want to lock up home and stay at home, that's their own business. Like, do that, but like, don't be putting out, there's enough aggression. Like, we should have compassion. Like, maybe these people are suffering, and this is the way that, you know, they keep their mind right, or clear their head. Because I get really restless. Like, if you told me, like, I'm thinking of lockdown now, and I'm like, what am I going to do? Because if I don't get out for my 40-minute walk around the block, I will go cracked. Like, I love yoga, and it's doing, and like I was saying before we recorded this, that like, I really miss my 9 hours of yoga classes. But it's my walks that keep me sane on a day-to-day basis.
100%.
I was saying to Brian,
it's the fresh air.
I'll have to start doing laps around his back garden, or walking up and down the stairs just to get the steps in, because emotion is energy in motion. And like, if it gets bent up into me, like, I'm just like, what am I going to do?
I find I do an awful lot of my processing when I'm out for a walk. Like, I went yesterday when I went for a walk, I went down the road and 3 times went to put my headphones in, and then I was like, no, and I just took them out. And listening to the birds, and listening to the wind, and listening to the cars, and listening to the 2 dogs, and just listening to everything. And then thoughts were coming and going, and I was thinking of different things, and I got a few ideas of different things I could be doing, and had a brainwave then about 1 or 2 things that aren't working, and you know, that kind of way. And then, but I find it's very effortless when you're out for a walk. Do you know what I mean? It just comes and goes, and you don't get overly bent up over anything. You're just being. You're just being.
And there's no distraction.
No.
I try and do that so much. Put my phone down, like, and I should really leave the phone at home, but I love seeing my steps.
Oh,
that's so sad.
But
what I'm going to do from now on is put on flight mode. So then I have no excuse. But I'll be there, head down, posture all bad, and I'll be looking at my phone, and then I'm home. I haven't really taken in anything.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm really good like that, and that I have no problem leaving my phone down now. For any length of time, and my friends, my family, they will all tell you the same thing. You might say, you probably know as well, you might send me a message, you might not get a reply for 2 days.
I'm the same though. I'm terrible. People must think I'm so ignorant, but I'm like, oh God, I replied in my head, because I read the message, I'd reply in my head, and then I put it down, and
it's like, I'll text them back in a minute.
But I don't take offence though. People don't write back straight away.
Either do I, because I actually think it's a really good habit. People would be killing me about it, and I'm like, no, I actually think it's a really good habit, because
it just means your phone isn't in your hand all the time.
Exactly. And I'm not like immersed in this little tiny world on this tiny screen. There's a whole other world. There's the actual world.
I put down my phone for the whole weekend. I was like, look, this has to go down, because I was just reading too much into things, and I was just like that. I was looking at people fighting and being aggressive, and I was like, I just don't even want to look at that, to be honest.
Absolutely. And you see, I think the thing about it is as well, is we all have to safeguard ourselves on social media a little bit, because up to now we've been kind of figuring it out. Do you know what I mean? For the last however many years that social media is around, we've just been kind of like, oh, what's this? And just, you know, take it for what it is, and we've all been running with it. But we do have to be very careful about what we're exposing ourselves to. Because I had to go through everyone that I followed on Instagram there. I did it about a year ago. Because I was scrolling through Instagram, and I was following all the people off of Love Island, and following all of these celebrities. And I was looking through, and I was like, I want to go to Cancun, and I want to go here, and I want to go to Coachella.
They're called influencers.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to go to Coachella, and I want to go to all of these unreal things, and look at her, she's so tanned. And, you know, and all of a sudden I realised that I was just scrolling through social media to make myself sad. That was the only thing, that seemed to be the only thing that was coming out of it. So I went through that, and I started unfollowing people, and I do that now on a regular basis, that if I see something and it makes me feel sad, or it makes me feel like, if it makes me feel bad in general, then I unfollow them for the same, not anything against the person, but for my own,
what you take from it.
Exactly, because if I'm not taking something positive from it, I can choose what I come up against on Instagram.
Absolutely.
I can't choose what I come up against in the world, but I can choose what I come up against on Instagram. And I can choose the way I look at it as well. Do you know what I mean? So I think at the moment there's so much about the coronavirus, and there's so much of people abusing each other, and that you kind of sometimes need to look at that and go, right, well, what effect is that having on me?
Well, there's energy in words.
Oh, 100%. It makes me
it's
angry.
Coming out the screen. It's not like you just don't eat through your mouth, you eat through your eyes as well.
Yeah, totally.
So that's going in. Like, I was watching Orange is the New Black last night just before I went to bed, and like the dreams that I had last night were just they weren't dreams, they were nightmares, and it was really bad, and I was like, oh my god, I need to like either watch it later or earlier in the day, or like look at something else, because it gets ingrained.
Half the time I need half an hour in the morning to just process all my dreams.
Like
I need just half an hour.
I have crazy dreams. What
the fuck?
Yeah. Well, let it. A good friend of mine always says, let it happen in dream state rather than in reality.
Oh yeah,
because we just don't have enough hours in our days to live out all that we have to live. So let the nightmares be nightmares and let them happen in dream state.
I used to, when I was younger, I always had nightmares. I still do have nightmares, but I used to have the same recurring dreams, or at least the same recurring dreams when I was younger, and they evolved as I got older. Like one of my dreams was that a garden was filling up with lava, but the lava was white with coloured polka dots on it because I was about 5. But this was a nightmare when I was a child.
5 on acid.
Oh man. But as I grew up, that dream evolved into much more real things that I was genuinely terrified of as I got older. But I have learned now, for whatever reason, to actually just laugh at them. Yeah. Because I wake up in the morning sometimes and I'm like, well, that felt real, but that was so ridiculous. Yeah. And I'd be kind of laughing at myself now.
If we could do that with emotions, it'd be brilliant.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But that has actually helped me with sleep paralysis. Oh. Because I used to get really bad, get sleep paralysis quite a bit as well. And I would wake up sweating, and I'd probably have a cry after that happened, because it's genuinely the most terrifying thing in the world.
It's only after happening once or twice, I think.
But now, because the dreams don't terrify me, so I think this is why, because the dreams don't terrify me as much anymore, and I kind of wake up in the middle of them most of the time going, what the name of God? And now it happens when I'm getting sleep paralysis as well. At some point I just go, oh wait, this is not real, and I absolutely can move. Yeah. And then I just move, and then I'm like, okay, roll over, start again.
It's mad, isn't it? But it's what the mind thinks. Like, I can't move, so I won't move. Yeah. So the body, because whatever you tell your body, it'll do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely. Yeah. But sure, it's so funny because I learned, so with panic attacks, when I get a panic attack, my breathing gets much sharper and very, very shallow in my chest. But I realised then that if I just breathe into my belly, I can trick my body into not having a panic attack.
Yeah. You can bypass it.
And it's that simple.
Absolutely.
It's that simple. The same way, if I start breathing sharply into my chest,
you will have a panic attack.
I will have a panic attack. I'll start panicking about absolutely nothing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But it's funny, like,
because your body
you can tell your body what to do. You can trick it. Like, I say trick it. You're not really tricking it. You're tricking yourself.
You're just commanding.
Yeah, you're tricking yourself. Do you know what I mean? But you can tell your body what to do 100%.
That's why affirmations are brilliant, like saying something 3 times. You know, I'm relaxed, not saying I am not worried, because it doesn't understand the not, and it doesn't have a sense of humor either. No, you know, so like when you say something, it takes it literally.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I'm always like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, if I say that out loud now, you know, it's going to be ingrained like that. And I was reading something, was I reading or listening to something the other day? Your mind is like a pool of water, so like it's like there and it's still, and when you have a thought, that thought drops and then ricochets out.
Oh yeah, like
little ripples. So you have a thought and then you say it and you keep saying it, then those ripples become bigger waves, and that's what's going through your body then. And we have 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, and often they're the same thing over and over and over again. So like if you could start changing your thoughts and your words, you can change everything.
Oh, 100%.
So if it's really negative going in one side, you can switch it and start being really positive in the other side.
I find gratitude a great way of rewiring.
Oh, I was just thinking that. I was like, if everybody could just do 5 to 10 minutes a day.
So I remember, I have told you about this book. I've told every person I've ever met since I listened to this book about this book. It's called Stress Less, Accomplish More, and I listened to it on Audible. It's by a woman called Dr. Emily Fletcher, and it's this whole meditation concept that she has come up with for high achievers, is what she calls, so busy people, basically. But she goes through the whole science. I think chapter 7 is where it goes into the actual meditation, but every chapter up to that point is going into like the science of meditation, the science of stress, and she speaks about gratitude. So apparently when your mind is in a state of gratitude, it is impossible for it to be in any other state. So if you're in a state of fear and then you start saying, I suppose when you're starting an exercise like this, I can do it in my mind now, but when you're starting an exercise like this, you're actually better off to either say it out loud verbally or write it down, just to kind of really make it sink in. But if you're in a state of fear or anxiety or sadness, and take a step back then and try and come up with 3 things that you're grateful for, 5 things that you're grateful for, whatever, and just say them out loud or write them down. It does work.
Absolutely.
It does rewire your thinking.
Because on the scale, fear is at one side and love or gratitude is on the other side. So they're 2 opposites. So you can't be in one state.
You can't do both.
No, you can't do both.
No, not at all. But even I find the dogs, they're always the top of the things that I'm grateful for. And then when I think about the dogs, I look at the dogs and then I'm like, oh, dogs.
And then you're a different kind of dog.
And then I'm crying again. Like, I'm like, I love you, dog. A few minutes of doggy therapy and it's fine.
I think people really need to get into that state of gratitude now and stop focusing on what everybody else is doing. It's like, lads,
100%.
turn it around.
100%. I remember, and I could actually root out, I journal, but not, it's very sporadic. I journal when I need to and only when I need to. So if I have an awful lot going on in my head and I can't, sometimes I feel like and I'm sure other people will relate to this as well, but sometimes I feel like the thoughts are flying around my head like
68 to 80,000. They would.
Like little pinballs just going pew, 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 pew. And sometimes I get very overwhelmed and I find them hard to follow. And sometimes it's excitement, sometimes it's fear, sometimes it's love, sometimes it's sadness, whatever. But when it happens, I'm like, okay, we need to stop the cycle. And that's the most important thing I find with any emotion that's about to run riot is right, stop the cycle. Do you know what I mean? And take a step back. But I find journaling very helpful then, so I'm really sporadic with it. I might journal every night for 3 weeks and then I might not look at the thing for a month, which is where I'm at the moment. I haven't looked at the thing in a month now. But
I'm the same though. I would do maybe a week, 2 weeks or 21 days and then I'm like, I'm bored of this now.
I'm like, right, okay, I'm done with you for another while.
Do it because you want to do it.
And
that's like with anything, like exercise or like reading, do it because you want to do
100%. It. Yeah, absolutely. Otherwise you can't do it anyway. I can't make myself do anything. But what I was getting at there, talking about the journaling, is I can go back and find ones from early last year, where I was comparing myself to all of my friends. So, it wasn't even this, was it? Yeah, well, it would have been this time last year. So early 2018, I came back from being away. I wasn't just in Portugal, but I had been away for the bones of 2 years. And I came back and it took me a really long time to settle in and get my bearings. And then when I did get my bearings, I was looking and had like my house and all of that, all of the foundations in. I was looking around at some of my friends and some of them were saving up for mortgages, some of them people getting engaged, people having babies, people buying houses, people moving here and doing this, and I was like, oh my God, I am such a failure. I am failing as a person. I'm going to amount to nothing. And like, this is all the things that were going through my head constantly. Do you know what I mean? Comparing myself to absolutely everybody. And it's so true, that quote, comparison is the thief of joy. 100%. That is 100% accurate. Because while I was looking at all of them, making myself miserable, they were also looking at me, looking at things that I had that they were jealous of. And it was only when I started talking to them about it, because I didn't want to seem like begrudging. Because I wasn't begrudging them for anything. I was happy for all of them, but I was miserable for myself.
Yeah, because you didn't have what they had.
Yeah, exactly. And then I started talking to them about it and saying it to them, and they were like, yeah, okay, fair enough. But like, look at all of the things you've done. Look at all the places you've gone.
Yeah.
Look at all the experiences you've had, and look at this, and this. And then I was like, oh, wait, we're all playing this game. We are all looking at each other, making ourselves miserable because we don't have what they have.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at somebody who has something that you don't, and you're making yourself feel shit about it, chances are they're looking at somebody else for the same thing, and somebody is looking at you thinking the same thing.
Well, this is what's happening on social media now, with people sitting at home behind their phones and like look at all you people out there and blah. It's like, lads, put down the phone. Yeah. Look at what's going on inside your house. Go tend to your kids. Go spend time with them. Like, do you know, you're sitting there and you're emanating now all that aggressive energy into the house, like, and you're making it a really horrible place to live, like. Because that energy is just steaming out of you.
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's like, give it a rest.
This time last year was when I was having all of these conversations, and I was like thinking all of these horrible things about myself, and even posting Instagram pictures just for likes. It was literally like I'd be checking it and checking it and checking it and checking it. Why? I mean, that is obsessive. Now I don't even post on Instagram. I did post my last post on Instagram was in December, and then I posted the other day a picture of the two cats. I was like, I have nothing else going on, only the cats and the dogs. So, but like, that all happened this time last year, and then I did a cull on Instagram then, or a purge, if you will, and I stopped posting on Instagram then as well, kind of Easter last year. And why not? It's so strange, because I stopped even looking at what anybody else was doing, and then before I knew it, I was in Ibiza. Doing one of the things that was on the bucket list that I was looking at everyone else doing, making myself miserable. And then I went to a load of festivals, and I went away a load of times. It was like the minute I stopped focusing on everyone else and started focusing on what I actually wanted to do, they all started happening. And it did. I went to Ibiza, I went to a couple of festivals, went over to Amsterdam for ADE, which has been on the list for years. And I had a right old time. And I didn't care about anyone else. Not that I didn't care about anyone else, but I just didn't.
Well, you're focused on yourself rather than
I was these people looking, and then all of a sudden I was seeing everybody else doing things, and I was like, oh yay, we're all doing things. Let everybody do things. I'm just happy for everybody.
It's mad. What is that quote that says, do you remember when you wanted everything that you have now?
Yes, that is so true.
And it'll all happen, but just like, it can't all happen at once.
No.
Because you just don't have the time or space to have it all at once, but enjoy it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like all those things, I'm sure, like when you were there, like, oh my God, I'm here now. And it's
exactly. It's like, nice.
Okay, have it now. Like when you get that new car or new belt or new phone,
but
I have it now.
I wasn't half as emotional about it. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, that's great, having a right old time.
But isn't it booking those things and like the time leading up to it, and getting your few bits together, and like they're the exciting times.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then you're home and it's like, okay, what next?
That's one thing. Actually, when I came back from Ibiza, I thought I would be the saddest person in the world when I came back, because coming back from having such a good holiday, and then
there's the post-holiday blues.
Do you know what I mean? I didn't get the post-holiday blues. I had such a good time in Ibiza, and I was so grateful for that time. I was like, I am absolutely doing myself a disservice if I get miserable about this now. It's like that was a brilliant time. There will be plenty more brilliant times.
It's not the last holiday that you'll ever have.
Oh no, not at all, not at all. And it just so happened to kick off a very good, quite an enjoyable 6 or 7 months. Do you know what I mean?
But I think times like this, when it's really quiet, start planning those things.
Totally,
and be like, now if I do this, this, and this, I'll be able to go here then, and like plan it so far in the future that it'll happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then come back to now, and then start taking those little steps towards it.
Absolutely.
And break it down.
Yeah,
it's like, when did you think you'd have all those funds to do all of those things, and then somehow or another you just make it work?
Oh yeah, it just happens because you're not. Because you're narrowing your focus from what everyone else is doing to the things that you want to do, and then when you narrow your focus, all of a sudden you're like, I'm not going to buy that top because I want to go here.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, I'm not going to go for dinner.
You're putting it out blocks for yourself.
Yeah, you're like, nah, I'm not going to go for dinner. I want to go there. And that was me in the run up. That was because once I beat that happened, I had something else booked, and then had something else booked, and then it was just going
frequency.
So I was in the habit then of like, nah, I can't spend a penny. Go away.
Yeah.
I literally did not buy any new clothes from before I went to Ibiza until I think October, September maybe. Didn't buy any new clothes. Not that I needed any new clothes.
That's what I was going to say. You weren't walking around the place naked. Like.
No, I can clothe an army with all the clothes I have here.
Oh, like. I'm exactly the same.
Do you know what I mean? Like I could confidently say that I could probably go a month without washing a single item of clothing.
Yeah, and still have
I'd still have clothes for another month. Do you know what I mean? Like,
sure, I don't go anywhere.
No.
I live in gym gear.
Yeah, I live in leggings.
That is my day-to-day wear, night wear, work wear, gym clothes and runners. I was the same though. Like when I started the yoga classes, it was all classes. And I was like, oh, I really want to do a workshop, but X, Y, and Z, I can't do it because this, that, and the other thing. And then that happened. And I was like, oh, I'll do one.
Yeah.
And now I have so many. And then I was like, right, I want to do a retreat. And I was on retreats and I was looking at people doing retreats. And I was like, oh, they do it in such foreign countries. And like, they have loads of help and this, that. Oh, I can't do that. I don't have that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like looking at everybody else doing it. And I was like, oh, I couldn't do it that way. But I was like you looking at Instagram, like at all those people. I was looking at all these people running these workshops. And I was like, sure, I can't do that. Out. Yeah, and making all the excuses. Yeah, and then I was like, but what way can I do it?
Exactly.
They do it that way. And that's them, and that's that person aged whatever from whoever and has all of this
There's
help.
no blueprint for any of these things anymore.
But then when I turned it around on me and I was like, okay, so where can I start?
Yeah.
Like where can I host this? And then all of a sudden it all started opening up and like the help just comes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it does. And I found that so hard to believe until I felt it. Do you know what I mean? But the minute you just narrow your focus, and this can work on like a micro level and it can work on a macro level.
Oh, absolutely.
And what I mean by that is, say, in one of my notebooks, I have 1,000 notebooks that I'd be writing various scrambled thoughts in.
One is holding the phone up right now.
Yes. One is providing the phone stand at the moment.
We're very versatile here.
Yes. But flicking through it the other day looking for something else, and I spotted this little list, and it was just a shopping list. Like of clothes I wanted. Yeah. So different things. There was like, I don't know when I wrote this list, but there was like mom jeans and I wanted a new shirt and a few other bits and pieces. And I do find these little lists every so often, and every time I find one I'd be laughing because I'm like, I have all those things.
Yeah.
I could be getting myself down about them when I'm writing the list, and then I'm like, I have all of those things. I remember how down I got myself about this particular thing. I don't even use it anymore.
I don't like writing in books, but I always write in my notes. So I go through my old phones, like if I'm selling them or giving them away or whatever, and I'll find those lists as well, and like things that like I want to do. So when I was in India doing my yoga teacher training, I wrote down a list of stuff like that I wanted to do or thought I could do when I come home, and like 80% of them. Oh, yeah. And like I didn't even try, like I forgot about the list, but they just actually kind of happened. So it's like when you think about it and then you write it down and then just leave it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
It won't happen straight away because you're not qualified enough, you don't have enough funds, you're not ready. Yeah. And I always say, like, if you grow too quickly, you'll get stretch marks.
Oh, too
But you're going to grow anyway, so why not grow at a nice rate and enjoy it rather than get all these things and then,
Well, that's like me at the moment, because like I left my job and then, left my job and then decided I was going to start a business, but it all kind of happened around the same time. Like I was thinking about starting a business for a while and then finished up in my job. It just all happened at the right time, say. But I didn't get the chance to actually get the business started properly or get it off the ground when this whole thing hit. And it would be very easy for me to sit here now and go, oh my God, my life is crumbling apart. What's happening? Like, it would be very easy for me to sit here and just go into panic station. And I'm like, panic station is not going to be helpful in this particular situation.
Everything.
No, it does. And I'm kind of like, it will happen. It will happen somehow. Something will come, or it'll.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, this whole mindset of it will happen does not give you license then to go off and
sit in your arse all day.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you something though. There is no good time to start a business.
No,
the only
not
time
at all.
is now.
Yeah.
Like when I started,
Funny enough, the time still feels right.
Yeah.
It still feels like the right time. I'm not one bit scared about it. I'm just kind of like, right, okay, the landscape has changed, so I need to give this a few weeks and see where it goes. Yeah, and then I'm kind of like, right, well, this aspect of it is going to be quite difficult or near impossible at the moment. However, there's all of this background work that I can be doing
this
for
research.
Now. Yeah, exactly.
Like when I started first, I was given like this list of things. I was like, oh my God, I'm working at the moment, so like I don't have time. So like if this was all happening to me at that time, I'm like, oh, I could have all this researched and all this done, but then I'd be probably like, oh, I'm not out there like teaching classes, or you know, people aren't allowed to come. So like there's no right or wrong time. You just have to make the best of what you have at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
But I find all of this, like I was only saying to you earlier, like I have been so unproductive, but like so what?
No, but I think
it's what pressure, like who's giving you this pressure? You are giving yourself this pressure. I'm
exactly.
like, you have been wanting a break to chill out. Now you have it. Here's your break. Yeah. You know, relax, chill out. You can do the work tomorrow. You can do an hour here, an hour there. But I'm like, no, like, oh, this has to be done. And I'm like, normally I'd be teaching like 3 classes today, and I'd be doing this, that, and the other thing. Chill out, like.
No, but this is the thing.
Enjoy.
The whole world is on pause at the moment.
It's not just happening to me. It's not just happening. It's happening to everybody.
Yeah.
Like everybody is in the same boat. Like imagine people getting married.
Yeah.
Having to cancel their weddings.
I'm after seeing people having to cancel weddings.
People that are pregnant that are about to give birth. Like I'm sure that's stressful enough without having the worry of bringing a child into this. Like I'm always thinking like there's people way worse off than me, and it's like, will you just sit down, relax, and enjoy the day-to-day, the slowness of it. You know, you've been wanting this for so long, the reading in bed and drinking your coffee and just like not having to be anywhere or interacting with anybody. It's just like,
but I think everybody has had something that they've wanted. There's things we've all been putting on the long finger, going, I don't have time to do that, I don't have time to do that, can't do that at the moment, oh, I meant to do that, I have to pop that one off for another while. Now fair, yes, the situation that we find ourselves in is scary. It is going to end up disastrous for some people, unfortunately. It is, do you know what I mean? Whether it's businesses will be affected or whether it's people will get sick, it is going to end horribly for some people, and that's just the fact of the matter. But for a lot of us, there's an opportunity here. Do you know what I mean? So if you needed rest, if you have been exhausted up to now, take the nap. Take a few weeks. Do you know what I mean? And chill out. If you're feeling anxious or stressed out or anything like that, also take a break, take a step back. I think this is a perfect time for people to have a look at what's going on in their life, and then look at what are you not happy with, what's causing you a lot of anxiety, and then what can you do about that.
Like what can you add, what can you remove, what can you take away.
Absolutely.
Like it's such a time for growth, as in like you have the space now, you know, you have no excuse or not, you have it. But all that's coming into my mind is like reevaluate, review, rewind, you know, all of this it's because we don't get time.
100%.
Because we're always accelerating forward, so now it's time to put the brakes on and just stop.
And if there are people listening to this who are like getting agitated because there's not enough going on for them, I am sure that there are a number of skills, a number of things that you've wanted to learn. Anything, whether it's you want to learn. I know one of the girls said to me the other day that she wants to learn how to play chess. And then
old school.
And then I would love to learn archery. I would love that.
Go away.
But
you have the space out the back.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, I wanted to make a dream catcher the other day, and you know, like it just really stressed me out. I was 45 minutes trying to make a cross stitch or whatever, and I just threw the thing to the side. I was like, right, no, okay, enough with this now.
Yeah.
And I'll try and go back to it again.
Yeah.
But like that really stressed me out.
Yeah.
And I think because
making a dream catcher to me sounds tedious, and I would also put a caveat into what I said earlier on. I would love to learn archery.
Yeah.
However, I could see myself making 3 attempts at it and having a little temper
and having some broken
throwing it all
windows.
at the wall and then being like, no, I'm done.
But I
my
think I
archery
was
career
just trying
over.
to distract myself from everything that's going on. Like I have been head down doing loads of stuff all last week just to try and like get through the week.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh my God, this has actually happened.
Yeah.
And I always do that. Like I'll put myself head down into work just to try and get through it too. Like not ignore, but like, oh, this will pass.
Yeah.
But I just keep going and going and going. And I think over the weekend it really hit me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this is going to be around now for another little while.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Am I going to continue doing this, that, and the other thing? And I was like, do I miss people? Don't I miss people? You know, I was always kind of going through my head.
Yeah.
And then like you have so much time to think, and then your past comes up and you're like thinking about that.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
it's just
absolutely.
like your whole life is just like
I think
flashing
there's
by.
definitely people are going to be very let me think, because there's an awful lot of downtime and you can't help but be alone with your thoughts a lot. There's going to be a lot of things come up, and whether it be somebody says something that hits a nerve,
triggering.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Do you know what I mean? And then it's kind of, that's where we all need to be a little bit mindful.
Well, this is what you have to have.
Each other.
That's the thing. Like I was talking to someone and I'm like, yeah, we're having social distancing in the house. I was like, that's code word for we are killing each other.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when if you have a mom who works from home or who like minds the kids, and like she has her certain amount of time to herself at home, where like that's probably her time. And now the husband's at home and the kids are home, and like I'd say stress levels are just through the roof.
I can tell you now that if I lived with somebody, I'd be after moving out, okay?
To where though?
Camp in the mountains.
Isolation.
Total isolation. That is my only saving grace, is that I live on my own. Now, like you can see the arrangement here. My mother's house is only down the garden. Do you know what I mean?
You're not alone.
But that's a different house in a different building.
Oh, I couldn't imagine living at home. No way.
Like I wouldn't be like, it's not even a case of I couldn't stick everyone. I am so thankful for everyone else's sake that I do not live in that house, because I am social to a degree, but I am an introvert to my core. Do you know what I mean?
And I'm like, much.
I can only handle so much interaction, and then I'm wore out.
Yeah, I'm pretty much like that as well. Like since I started my own business, like I can pick and choose my hours and where I am with people, but then like I'm on my own. Yeah, and it's like great. So it's a nice little mix. Like you're with people, you're on your own. You're with people, you're on your own. And then like, you know, it can be like that. But you know, 9 to 5 being in people's company all day long, that's tough.
That's not the life for me.
Yeah, but now they have that at home.
Yes.
You know, so this is why it's so important that people have things in place where it's like, right, this hour is mine.
Yeah,
you know, people are saying to me, oh, I've nowhere to do my yoga online now that you're putting it up on Facebook or whatever. I was like, well, find a corner. Like, we don't live in shoeboxes anymore, you know, so like,
absolutely.
Don't make excuses.
But you only
take
need
yourself
the thing
out.
about, like, say, even with yoga, you only need the size of the mat and a bit of wingspan.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
So I'm just saying, like, go into your room and make that space. If you have to push your bed to the side for that half an hour, do that. Like, don't make the excuses. And then you'll go back, and then you'll go back down, and everyone will be able to live with each other once again. But just do that, like.
Oh, 100%. And I think if you're, like, if people are getting in on each other's wicks as well, go for separate walks. Yeah. Separate.
Yeah. Or just close the door and be like, I'm going in here. Do not disturb me for the next hour. Yeah. And have that time to yourself.
No, I think it's very important for people to, no, I'm not saying guard your boundaries with, like, you know, a pitchfork. But
burning at the door.
Yeah, we all have boundaries. Yeah. You know, we all have our
too
limits.
much of anything is not good.
No, not at all. And that's where I'm like, and I'm sure they notice it in my mum's house as well, but I'll sometimes be like, right, okay, I have to go here now. Yeah. And I'm gone. Because, or else I'm the opposite, and I say I'm going, and then I'm there for half an hour more saying goodbye to people or eating my mother's food. But like, sometimes I just have to remove myself from a situation, because if I don't remove myself at that very moment, I will then go down the road of saying things I cannot take back. It's just pleasure.
Once it's said, it's out forever.
Yeah.
But that's normal. Like that, I think everybody's like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody.
That's the thing. I think every single person is like that. But then some people, or me even, say go back 2 years, I wouldn't have the good sense to kind of go, oh, I'm at my limit now, I need to get out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I just stay there.
But I suppose you have to come to that realization.
Oh, you do, 100%. But like, I would just leave myself in the situation so I wouldn't upset anybody else. But then I would end up being the one who was upset. Do you know what I mean? So then I'm kind of like, okay, I just need to walk away because somebody's going to get that offended anyway. Do you know what I mean? We're all living in each other's ears now at the moment. So we just kind of, everyone needs to be ready for a little bit. I've enough of you.
Yeah.
And it's not you, it's just...
It's me. It's not me, it's you.
It's just, I have enough of being with this same person.
Yeah.
And that happens to everybody. We all get sick of being with the same person for any longer than a set period of time. So then it's kind of a case of, I'm just going to allow myself in this room for a little while. I'm going to go watch Netflix in bed.
But I think before, like, all this lockdown, if it does happen, like, people really need to...
kombucha.
Oh yeah, I got that in Aldi.
Aldi's finest.
Aldi's finest. Oh! Organic raspberry.
Lovely.
It's alive.
Oh, it's
live culture.
It's definitely alive.
But, you know, I think people should start thinking now, like, okay, if we do go into lockdown, what are we going to do? How can we
don't wait for everything to explode either. Put these systems in place now so that things don't explode.
And practice them, yeah. Because, like, they won't know what to do with themselves.
And I think another thing that I've found that works in offices in general is communicate your pet peeves before anyone infringes on them.
Absolutely.
Do you know
those people that said, I don't like loud chewers? Don't sit beside a loud chewer.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, do you know, please do, it's like, say if I was working with somebody here and they kept leaving the dirty cups in the sink.
Follow through.
Even that, if you're not going to follow through, put them on the draining board, please. Okay, because that's the system in this house.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's like, communicate what drives you absolutely right or wrong before they have the opportunity to drive you right or wrong.
My one is alive as well. Just bring you back here to your lab.
It's really funny in the cup. But even I've seen people, couples on social media who are now working at home. They're doing. Did you see this thing of like blaming it on the other or the other person that they work with?
No.
But this is an imaginary person.
Oh really?
Yeah. So people are like, say there's a girl I follow on Instagram. Victoria's her Instagram is in the fro, but she her and her boyfriend live together and are both working from home, and they have a new colleague that they've named Gary, and they blame it on Gary. So Gary like leaves the cups in the sink, they both blame it on him. Away. Yeah. Oh. So rather than killing each other about it. So there's a funny little exercise to try.
That's good.
Hey, look, anything that works. Because we always have to keep ourselves sane for the moment.
I really found that over the weekend. I was like, right, okay, if this happens to me again now, what am I going to do? And then, like, you're entitled to feel like, was I scared? Was I overwhelmed? Yeah. Or was it just like coming out of me as anger?
Yes.
You know, so that's maybe something that I have to explore. Do you know that kind of way? Like, people, if they're anxious, they might show anger instead of...
I get ratty.
Yeah, I was really ratty. Like, I didn't like anything or anyone over the weekend.
If I'm very, 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 very anxious and somebody tries to speak to me. No, I mean, if I'm in the middle of the anxiety, like if somebody tries to speak to me, I've been known to turn around and tell them, fuck off. I don't be able to communicate. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get really frustrated. I get really frustrated then. I'm like, why are you talking to me? Do you not see the impending doom? But I find, like, getting to everyone, like what you said, everyone expresses things differently. And I think if we need to be mindful about how the people around us express things as well. Yeah. Because if you so say me and you live together and I get ratty with you over something and you get ratty with me, well then if we both know that that's each other's go-to for X, Y, or Z, then I won't take it as personal.
Yeah, you won't.
Yeah, exactly.
You just can't take it personally. Like that person is going through whatever. Yeah. And unfortunately, you are the one who got the backlash. So just let it
because
go.
we all do it. We all do it.
And we don't mean to do it.
No, and we all take things out on people when we shouldn't. But the important thing in that situation is if you do take something out on somebody, own it, and go back to them later and be like, look, I'm sorry, I shouldn't.
Don't let it go on.
And just be like, I got irritated because this happened 3 weeks ago, and that just sent me over the edge, and just explain it. Do you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, well, that's not personal.
And then they're like, okay, I won't do it again.
Yeah, exactly. And you can just communicate about it rather than being like, oh my God, I can't believe he just ate the head off me for doing that. And leaving the horns come out then, that kind of a way. I do think communication is very important before any of us try to kill each other.
Yeah, and I think it's really important because, like, who knows how long it'll go on for. Like, I was only saying to someone the other day, I was like, this is our new norm.
Yeah, like, how long?
Get comfortable.
How long am I going to be in this house?
Yeah. We should just take day by day.
Yeah. Do you know what? No, I'm not overly fussed.
Not right now. But that could change.
Oh, yeah. Come back to me in 3 weeks. I'm going to be like sitting there.
Remember when you said
eat my own words?
But you just have to understand, like, enjoy the moments that you enjoy and really
Absolutely.
enjoy.
And I think
sit back and relax and be like, because you could be different tomorrow.
Oh, 100%. And I think it's really important to focus on all of the things. Right, okay, we can all sit here now and focus on all of the things that we cannot do at the moment, which is just not going to help, and it's only going to serve to irritate the heart and soul out of you more. And so I think it's better to focus on what can you do? What can you be doing at this time? Do you want to learn a new language? Do you want to learn to play chess? Do you want to do this?
Make sure you really relax before you get it.
Definitely.
Oh my God, that sent me over the edge the other day.
I guarantee there are people like who wants to learn. Me as a perfect example, I want to learn how to use the Adobe Creative Suite better. Do you know, I want to spend time on that,
and that's something that's going to benefit your business.
Yeah, exactly.
And that you might be able to do in the future when you're busier. Like.
Yeah, exactly. It's very. I think having a few weeks to really go in depth with that will stand to me, whereas trying to do it gradually over time, I know I'll keep fobbing it off.
Yeah. Well, what I did the other day is I put Monday to Sunday on my notes, and then I put in stuff like on each one, and if I didn't get it done that day, I'll do it the next Monday, Tuesday. But I have it there, I'm like, right, if I have it written there, I'll actually take it off, and you can actually put a tick.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and then you can like untick it.
Yeah.
So like I have my Monday to Sunday, and then I have my staples like walk, yoga, workout, blah blah blah, and then I keep adding things like clean room, clean box room, do taxes, you know, all these kind of things, and do my online courses. Yeah. So if I don't do it that day, I can do it the next day, or you know, like so they're just there, and they're like. At least I have some order to my day.
Exactly.
Like some focus, some purpose. Like even with doing the live classes, I didn't do them over the weekend because I just really wanted to take a break. But I have a purpose. Like, all right, it's 7 o'clock now. I'm going to do this. And then you're delighted then when you do it. You know that kind of like, Then you're interacting with people. So like. Maybe like have a group call together, or you know, you could like Skype each other Zoom. While you're doing something.
100%.
But build a community. Like remember we were talking about a community of like talking about like when the moon changes, how that affects you. And just know that you're not the only one that's going through it.
No, not at all.
Do you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really important to stay connected with people at home. So try and I don't know if this is a good example or a bad example, but when I was going from eating meat to go and then going vegan, so this was 2017, I think, but I realized I had tried a few times before that, but it just wasn't working for me. And then I realized that I need to start replacing things. Yeah. So I'd swap one thing out for another. Yeah. And that was how I got into the really good habits then, and kind of kept that going for ages. Yeah. So I think if you have an awful lot of time on your hands, and you know I used to do this thing at this time, try and replace it with something that you can do. And so like the yoga is a great example. For anyone who was going to yoga classes, watch some videos. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And try to replace things. Yeah, absolutely.
Or those times a day, because like if the days would be very long. Yeah. you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you don't have things to do during that day, like, you're going to go insane.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So replace
100%.
it, like, and like that. If someone was wanting to eat less meat, or you know,
now's a great time.
Now's a really good time.
Yeah.
Or to drink less, or because people use the excuse, oh sure, I socialise and I go here. Like, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, and like,
so now is the
learn
time
to bake.
Yeah.
Oh,
those healthy treats.
Yeah, like even one of the girls, she was baking with her mum the other evening, and then there's so many things that you can do, and so many little nice, like, so many little nice habits that you can bring into your life now that you can keep going when everything goes back to normal. So like, there's plenty of opportunity to do those things. I think another really good thing as well is for anyone feeling restless or for anyone feeling agitated, make a list in your house of all of the things. Okay, your house, your life, whatever. Make a list of all of the things that you've been fobbing off. Do you know what I mean? So there's stuff in my front room that I want to sort out, and I want to rearrange my bedroom a little bit, and I want to deep clean the whole house. So I have a little list made now, and I'm just kind of ticking bits and pieces off of that every day. It gives you a sense of purpose. And gives you just something to be keeping going and keep working at. Because again, there are plenty of things that we can't do at the moment, but there are plenty of things that we can do.
Hold yourself accountable for your time as well. Like, you've no excuse. So I'm bored, I have nothing to do. Well, if you make a list, there's something you can do.
Absolutely,
so like, you can't keep going back to that. Oh, but I normally go for my walk. Well, like, everybody's penned in. I normally go to the gym. Well, all the gyms are closed.
You know, that's it. And it's getting out of that. It's getting out of that rut in your head as well, because I was like, oh no, it's too early to do this, or it's too late to do that, it's too early. Why? On what clock?
Yeah, exactly. There is no time now at the
whose
moment.
calendar? Yeah, exactly. There's no such thing as time at the moment.
I'm a creature of habit. So I loved my timetable. I love being here, there and everywhere, and then I fit all my other things in between that time. And now I'm kind of like, oh my God, there's no structure to my day. You know, what am I going to do? So now I'm like, right, okay, if I have this in the evening, and then I'll do all my other bits, and that will fill up my day.
But and then I don't know if anybody listens to this, I know I certainly struggle with getting out of the bed in the morning. And I don't mean, I'm not lying in the bed being like, it's not out of sadness or anything like that. It's out of nothing short.
But you're a night owl though, aren't you?
Oh, total night owl.
See, I'm the opposite.
All night. Oh no. I love the night time.
11:30, my eyelids are shut.
Nope. No, not at all. 11:30, I might think about going to bed. And what I mean by that is, like, 11:30, I'm like, I might put my pajamas on.
No, I would sleep standing up now. If it's 11:30, I'd be in my deep sleep.
Really?
Oh yeah.
No, I've always been a night owl, but I do struggle in the morning. I'm like, oh, I should get up now. What am I getting up for? Absolutely nothing, because there's nothing to do. Only eat myself out of house and home, watch the dogs, throw a ball for the dog. I'm like, what am I getting up for? So I've had to re-wrangle my day a little bit, in that now I get up and first thing I do in the morning is I go for a walk. And I like that. I enjoy that, you know what I mean? I'm up, dressed, out the gap.
You have a purpose to get up.
Yeah, exactly. So I get up, I get dressed, and I'm gone. And then I come back, and then I start my day. Do you know what I mean? And I might do my meditation then, or I'll go down and feed the horses or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I'll kind of move that around. But definitely I find getting up and getting out first thing in the morning is...
Well, you're breaking the habit.
Yeah, exactly. And you see, I didn't, because before all of this kicked off, I was still at home for the majority of the time anyway. So I was never like going for... I wasn't going to work, say, for the month of like January and February. But for people who have been going to work in the mornings, that would be a great way to keep you in that routine of still getting up and getting out. Because just to change your scenery, move your body. There's an awful lot to be said for it. There really is an awful lot to be said for it. Bit of movement.
But even like, if you can't get out for a walk, go out to the garden.
Stand at the back door.
And just look out, take a deep breath, and then come back in. And like, that can just change the tone for the whole day.
Oh, completely. That's so. That balcony is it's not even a balcony. That little deck thing there is like my favorite thing ever, because I go out there in the morning. That's total sun trap. So I stand out there in the morning and I'm like, and it's just nice, just a bit of fresh air, dust the cobwebs off, wakey. And then
off you go.
Yeah. And it really does make a lot of difference.
But like that, just appreciating what you have around you.
Oh, totally.
Once again.
I was sitting out there at lunchtime, just before you came on, and sitting out there with a cup of coffee on the chair. The dog was panned out on the ground next to me, listening to the birds.
Yeah.
And like you hear the wind in the trees and the birdies.
It's just been really present. Like,
absolutely.
Like a half an hour can pass.
Yeah.
You know?
I was in there for an hour. I didn't even notice. I was like, better go in and clean the house.
Quick disinfectant, somebody's coming.
Yeah, I'm running around my disinfectant.
And by the way, we are social distancing right now.
Yeah, totally.
Like there's over a metre between us.
Like I ran back in then, but it was so funny because I was kind of sleepy before I went out and sat down. And then once I stood up, then it was like I was after having a little nap.
Yeah.
Just because
recharge,
I was switching off for a little while. And
but just stopping, because your body will regenerate itself if you just stop and let it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But in general, it's funny. I only thought this now, but like even my morning, I've been out most of the morning now. Yeah. So like, well, what time is it now? Middle of the afternoon. But
4:05.
Yeah. But like I had to go into town and grab something earlier on, and I fed the horses before I did that, and then came back and I left them out, and then I was standing at the back garden. I won't mind, I was standing at the back garden with my travel mug in my hand, watching my mother do whatever she was doing. She was posting around with the marigolds on, and I was just standing there talking to her. But I spent nearly the whole day outside. Yeah. And it's a beautiful day out there as well.
So
like we
lovely.
might as well make the most of these beautiful days, because
spring is sprung.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because we will all end up back in work and back in our routines.
Do you remember when we had all that time off? It's like, will you just make the most of it, please?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kate, will we leave it at that?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that time passed so quickly, didn't it?
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed our podcast and that you got something from it and you're able to apply our little tips and tricks to your new norm for the next little while. If you have any other subjects you'd like covered, just let us know, and we'll catch you in the next one.